Hello everyone, Happy New Year. I've been rather quiet on YouTube, but it doesn't mean I haven't been making. I've been done a lot actually since I've seen you last time. Which started with, and you know me, I've got a chunky video sitting in my phone that I haven't finished editing because I haven't finished also the project because it's rather large, which was the Roxy Sisters December Christmas workshop at Green Door, which was absolutely wonderful, and the people that I met made it even more so. So that is something I really want to show you, and you know my little OCD brain that likes to be able to write my titles, make such and such, make 17, big green tick, complete, won't be able to happen for this one, but I'm going to show it to you anyway, because we've now finished Christmas and it requires a lot of cross stitch, which I haven't done lots of before at all. And it's going to take some time to finish kind of these elements on my Christmas piece that I want to show you. So how am I going to work that out? I'm just thinking whether or not I will incorporate it into this one. I think I should do a separate video for that. Yeah, I think I will. And that will just be a work in progress update video, because it's not going to be done anytime soon, and there's really no rush to finish it because Christmas is still ages away now. So how are you guys going, and what have you been working on these holidays? I would love to hear what you've been up to. My kids are up with mum and dad, as they always do for a break in the school holidays. They go to the city, and which is really bittersweet this time because it's the last time, because mum and dad are moving down here. And I went up and dropped them yesterday, and yeah, the overwhelm is real about putting the house on the market and selling the family home that they've had for 42 years. Pretty big move. But my brother lives overseas with his family, and they have both been retired for a very long time. So to keep a substantial property up there with a lot of maintenance when they're getting older and they've got no family there makes no sense. They've got really good friends there, but now is the time. So that's weird because, yeah, that place has been the constant of my whole life, living overseas, coming back, always just having that in the background that we go there. So anyway, interesting times, life moves forward. So that's exciting. And come the end of next month, they have to move out. Yeah, so anyway, so my kids are there now. Sorry, that's a very long-winded, convoluted way of saying I'm by myself, which is amazing. And I've finished the blocks for my quilt. So what I wanted to show you was, I've had a little play. I'm a wannabe quilter. I'm not a quilter because this is my first one that isn't a baby quilt. And I wanted to show you what I've done of my Treehouse Textiles quilt. I've just posted a reel to Instagram to show you the completed blocks. Maybe I can put that in here. I'm going to try and put that in here. Insert now. Let's see how that works out. Excuse me. Pardon me. Pardon me. Okay, I'm going to show you the layout of this quilt that I've done, and it's a scrappy quilt. And I've mentioned before, like, I'm not a scrappy lover, but I'm loving, I've tried to keep the palette very tight, and so that it's definitely got it's definitely got a very succinct color palette, which you'll see, quite vintagey. That's the feel that I wanted. I used a lot of vintage reclaimed textiles. So I've used a lot of pillowcases. I've used a lot of sheets that I have bought on Marketplace and Instagram and, you know, D-stash pages. I have a few pieces in here of Beck from Sobeys vintage like lolly scraps as well, the lolly pieces that she sells that I've bought from her throughout the year. She only sells those in person. She doesn't sell them on her website because you could like scrounge through this beautiful bucket at her shop. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you, this is the first setup, and then I'm going to change it, and then I'm going to try it a different way and see if I like that, which is a color gradient. And in my head I think it'll look nice, but I don't know if I've cut out enough of the pieces in color to make that work. So I'm going to turn around and show you this now, and you can see what you think. Okay, so this is a king size bed to give you some size perspective, and I have just laid it out. The lighting's not great because it's throwing a lot of kind of shadow on this, so I'm sorry about that. It's looking a lot darker than it actually is. So there's a lot of Ruby Star in here for the stuff, the material that's not reclaimed from other places, but a lot of it is. Like, that's an old pillowcase. This is a sheet. There's lots. There's lots. I'll come down now. This is an old apron. Let's come over here. Sheet. This is probably my favorite, I think, my favorite block of, well, I've got about 4 favorites. I love the chickens. Another sheet. That is a sheet up here. Sheet, that purple one, next to another sheet, pillow slip. And then I've got some Liberty in there that I bought from Beck at Sobe. Oh God, her name escapes me. That's really annoying. You know who that is. You'll tell me, I can't remember. Sheet and another sheet. This is super fine. So Heather Ross, yes, that is it, Heather Ross. Okay, so piece from my friend Kristen of her stash, beautiful. So this is the first layout. I am now going to, I've taken a photo. I am now going to change it up and try and make a color gradient and see what that looks like. And then I'll be able to compare both and see how I feel about it. So yeah, it's quite, I would say it's a double size. Yeah, so I will come back to you and show you how that's going to work out. Okay, I've had to play around with it a little bit, and this is the other alternative where I've tried to gradiate it. So I'm really not sure. I like both. Yeah, I'm not sure what to do. I might leave it for a little bit. And yeah, let it sit with me for a minute and see. But yeah, they've both got pros and cons. It's tricky, it's really hard. I need another pair of eyes. But anyway, that's what I'm up to at the moment. I will let you know when I've decided. Good morning. Don't judge me. I'm in the same clothes as yesterday because I've got no children here. So it's wonderful. I put something down and it stays there. It's yeah, a miracle. The results came in from my Instagram poll. 70% scrappy to 30% color gradiated or gradient. So I'm doing scrappy. I'm going to flip you around now and show you what I'm up to. Okay, so I'm now just piecing the blocks together 2 by 2, and then I attach them in big long rows like that, and there's 7 rows. There's 7 rows of 8. So I think I've done 3 rows now. And most of them are lining up really nicely. There's a couple, obviously, that are like a mil off, here and there. But do you know what? For the sake of, I can't do anything about that now because then I'd have to unpick. It's just where I've got a bit lazy at the very end of a seam, and it's gone a little bit wonky. But these are the things you learn as a first-time quilter. So loving this pattern still. Super, super, super easy, straight lines. And I'm hoping to get them all done today. And then I'm going to go in and see our local quilting shop. And then I've just, I've just pressed. So much bloody pressing, isn't there, in quilting? No one ever tells you that. Far out. And I've got like this tiny little iron that's set up in the kitchen because I'm not going all the way down to the quilting station, like the ironing station in the laundry. So I'm going into, actually guys, can you tell me please, if you know, what kind of batting would you put in? I think I've texted some of my friends who are quilters, and they say cotton, and there's the local quilting shop here in the Southern Highlands, called Thread Botanica. Sally, she's a gorgeous lady who owns it. Apparently her cotton is absolutely to die for. So I'm thinking I might try that. And I've already got some ideas for making my own quilts in my head that have just come from like making up my own pattern, but very simple. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, so now I'm just going to add all the rows together and then hopefully I'll be able to show you. So see you soon. Okie dokie, I am now sewing the rows together. Fun fact for newbie quilters, it really matters when all these little tiny seams are just out by like 2 because they're not matching up. So I've had to really kind of stretch some areas and keep some others loose to try and match up all of the crosses in the rows. So anyway, it's I thought I was precise. I'm not precise at all. Anyway, we'll just see how it goes. You're just not going to be allowed to look too closely at this, okay? It's a beginner one. That's fine. Also, how annoying is it when your bobbin runs out and you don't know? So I've just been stitching away, thinking this was going really well, and thank God it's only like 1 square back, and the bobbins run out, so that's also annoying because now I have to stop and rethread my bobbin. And look, I love this machine so much, but this is struggling. I am thinking, I want to hear your thoughts. I'm thinking of getting myself a 40, what will I be, 43 in August. I'm thinking of getting myself and lay-buying a Juki. What do you think? There's the only ones they sell in Australia, I've done the research, are the 2010Q, TL2010Q, I think that's right. Can you tell me what you think? Because I've got lots of quilty friends. Some of them swear by Genomies, but I actually think now I only need straight stitch. I've got other machines that can do this, can do all my other little embroidery things that I need in zigzag. So I'm only looking for a straight stitch machine. I need something that can go, the lifter that can have more space in there to put thicker fabrics, because it really struggles, even with the quilting foot, which I don't have on this one. It really struggles with the thickness of fabric. So when I'm doing my quilt coats and my blanket coats, that is now a problem. Can you please tell me what you think? I would like opinions of veterans, quilting veterans. Thank you. Hello. It's a rainy summer's afternoon. The day after I started putting the rows together, and now I am at my last. I've pinned all of them. I'm now at my last row, pinning all of them together. Very excited. And here it is, finished. I absolutely love the way it turned out. I know I've said I'm not a scrappy person, and I'm not, but in this instance, you guys were right. The voters were right. It looks amazing. I'm so pleased. I'm back. I've got this beautiful wide back Sue Heather Ross. Sue Ross is a lady that I know. Heather Ross. Fabric that I have washed and pressed and cut to size. And I went and got the curved safety pins, the masking tape, and I did go to Sally's, Thread Botanica, and it wasn't much dearer to get the wool. And I'm just going to do wool because it is so beautiful. So look, I've got nothing to compare it to. So it's just like, it's a little bit harder than pressing through cotton, but it's not that bad. So I'm going to try it with wool. We'll see. And I'm also going to try in my patchwork clutch that I made a couple of projects ago, or last project actually. I used a Shishiko needle and found that it was really quick to kind of do that running stitch. So I'm going to try and see if it's a shortcut to use a Shishiko needle to quilt. This could be a stroke of genius or quite the opposite. I don't know. So I'm going to give it a go and I'll let you know. But now I have just mopped the floor. That's the handball court in our full-size handball court in our kitchen. Pretty funny. And the floor is actually now clean, so I'm going to lay everything out on the floor and tape it down, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, stage one, there's no air bubbles, and I've pulled it as taut as I can without stretching the fabric. The fabric has a pattern on it that's a right way up and down, so I've got to remember that when I lay the quilt top on, that it's all going to face the right way. I'm saying that out loud so I remember. Okay, stage two. Okay, stage three. That took a while actually, and I've still got tiny little bumps in there, but I'm going to start pinning from the middle and then go out and smooth it. But I have sticky taped it down on the sides and tried to make it as taut as possible. And I'll keep going with the pins. And I'm back. I can't remember, guys, if I showed you this at the very beginning. This is the pattern for the Treehouse Textiles Crossroads Quilt. So that was obviously what I followed, and here it is. I've got it on my bed. It's just folded, and I've pinned it. I used over 100 pins of those safety pins, and I don't even know if that's enough. But the problem or the issue, I guess, that I've got is, I don't know if you'll be able to see, I have used chalk to do the markings of what I was hoping to quilt in a cross pattern. The issue is they're not all going to line up through the middle. Because of the way of some of these are wonky, they're a little bit out. I'm never going to get straight lines going diagonal through all the red centers, and so it's going to look really off. So this is my thing to you quilters out there. Could you please give me some advice or ideas? I'm thinking the only solution is I might have to quilt it, and I'm quilting it by hand, just like this, down each of the squares and then through there again. So each little one of these has a quadrant in it. What do you think? That's the only way, and avoid the centers completely, because it's going to exacerbate the fact that the lines aren't even on this quilt. Yeah, I would love to hear from you, your opinion. And I guess that is the trials and tragedies of a first-time quilter, isn't it? So I'm going to post this now. I have loved it. It's all in all taken me, I guess, less than 2 weeks, which is fantastic, which is probably really good for my brain just to get it over and done with. I can't wait to start quilting it, but I don't know what to do yet. That's where I would love your opinions, ideas, expertise, advice, all of the above, to know what to do now. And so I'm going to post this video, and then I will wrap it up on Instagram when I make the decision to quilt it. So I'm calling this one not finished, but the quilt top is done. It's done as far as I can do for YouTube, and I look forward to seeing you on my next project, and I hope you're all having a lovely time stitching. Bye.